Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a hilarious story for you here today titled, My Wife Left Me Because I Was Boring. Now she's begging to come back after her next man didn't want her. So this is the typical situation of a modern woman, a wife no less, leaving a dude because she thought she could do better. She thought she could go out there and find a more exciting, more attractive man, and it blew up in her face. Now, I could sit here and I could say, I told you so, but let's be honest, guys, the women never even listen in the first place. A lot of these women, they go out there, they make their mistakes regardless of what men tell them. You know, we're evil, we're bad people, we're trying to control them. So at the end of the day, I have no empathy for women like this whatsoever. It's as clear as day. If these women ever listened to a male in their lives, they wouldn't probably be in this situation, but hey, here we are. Guys, don't forget to like the video on your way in. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. And let's take a look at this story. This is written from a man, and he says, I was never enough for her excitement. I'm a 35-year-old man. My now ex-wife is 34. We were married for nearly 9 years. So what, they got married when she was 25, something like that. And for most of the time, I believed we had a stable, loving relationship. I work a regular 9 to 5 as a systems analyst. Right. I'm not into clubbing. I'm not particularly adventurous, but I always treated her well, provided stability, and never once disrespected her. She used to say I was her safe space until apparently safe became boring. So this is one of those dudes who is doing everything by the textbook that we as men were sold since we were young, you know? Go out there, go out there, get into a bucket load of debt, okay? Work a 9 to 5, provide for a woman, be nice, be caring, be respectful, all that jazz, okay? And then what happens to a lot of men who go out here and follow this life plan? They get completely screwed over, man. They get screwed over by the government, they get screwed over by the woman, and then here they are sitting there going, what the hell just happened? She left me because I was boring. And this is something we talk about a lot on the channel, guys. Like, a lot of these dudes are lied to. Okay, you're told to be the safe guy. You're told to be the provider. Who's this? Who's that? But oftentimes, this just gets you treated like absolute trash, especially by modern women, right? The women who have been with a whole bunch of dudes are always the worst offenders at this, by the way. You know, because they can't appreciate a man who is stable and quote unquote boring. They have to go out there and chase that next Chad. It's like in their DNA at that point. Anyway, he says the shift was gradual, then sudden. About a year ago, she started pulling away, nothing dramatic, just more nights out with friends, more time on her phone, less affection at home. When I asked if something was wrong, she would always brush it off. That's always great. You know, when you know something's wrong with your woman, guys, but then she always denies it, that's just what a man loves to come home to. One day, out of the blue, she sat me down and said, I feel like we've grown apart. You're a good man, but I'm not happy anymore. You've become boring. That word hit like a freight train, he says. She said she needed more freedom. She didn't mention another man at the time. I guarantee you there was one there, by the way. Just anytime women sit you down and have these conversations, guys, there is another man in the picture. They know ahead of time who the next dude is. Like, please understand, a lot of guys don't want to believe this, but crap like this is all pre-planned. They know what they're going to say. They know who they're going to go and hook up with next. They know who the next dude is. Oftentimes, she's already been DMing him. She's already made the monkey branch possible by this point. And a lot of guys don't want to believe this. They refuse to acknowledge it, or they don't even know that it happens. But there you go. She didn't mention another man at the time. She just said that she needed to explore life, find herself, and all the other cliches people throw out when they're ready to blow up a stable life. He said, I didn't fight it. I was heartbroken, yes, but I also respected her honesty, or at least what I thought was honesty. We divorced quietly, no drama. I helped her move out, gave her a fair split, even let her keep the car. So it sounds to me like, honestly, this woman's getting crap she shouldn't even be getting from the guy anyway. You know what I mean? I think these dudes oftentimes are way too generous, right? They're giving crap that they don't want to get into some ginormous legal battle, so they just make concessions and give the woman extra stuff, even though the women don't deserve it. He says, turns out freedom had a name. 2 months after our split, she was already posting Instagram stories. Why is it always Instagram, man? She was already posting Instagram stories with a new guy, tattooed, motorcycle riding, digital nomad type, pretty much the opposite of me. At first, I felt inadequate. I wondered if I was really boring. I even questioned if I should have been more spontaneous in our marriage, but then reality caught up. So here's what I've noticed about a lot of guys, right? Is a lot of guys will want to take accountability for stuff like this, okay? They'll sit there and logically think through it and think to themselves, okay, this woman said that I was boring. So logically, if I was more exciting, she wouldn't cheat on me, right? Like she wouldn't go out here and hook up with this other guy. And that sounds fine on paper until you realize that it's just not fine on paper. If you were more exciting, she would still go out there and hook up with this guy anyway. You know what I mean? Like it still would absolutely happen. She would still reply to this guy when he shoots her a DM. She would still meet up with him, and she would still want to go out there and hook up with him and end the relationship with you regardless. A lot of guys think that they can just, oh, be more entertaining, okay? Be less boring, and your woman's not going to cheat on you. A lot of these women were always going to cheat and leave, especially if they've been with too many dudes before. This is why I say oftentimes, right? You'll have a woman, you know, and you're supposed to be lucky dude number 37, okay? You're going to be boyfriend number 37, but, you know, digits 1 through 33 weren't even boyfriends, okay? The relationship's never going to last. It doesn't matter how much of a giga chad you are, she's still going to step out at some point. She's simply been with too many dudes. Anyway, he says her excitement didn't last long. About 4 months into their relationship, the happy couple posts stopped. A friend of mine who still follows her on socials told me she deleted all pictures with him. Then I got the message. It was a simple, hey, I hope you're doing well. And then another one, I miss talking to you. Can we catch up? They met up and she laid it all out. Her new exciting boyfriend had no job, no long-term plan, and no patience. He wasn't interested in building a future, just the thrill of the moment. After the first few months, he stopped pretending to care and told her she was too much drama. Ironic. Yeah, so this guy wasn't the stable man, okay? He probably had his bike and that was it. I believe he mentioned like a motorbike. You know, he probably, all of his money, honestly, was probably in the motorbike because it was cool, or because he thought it was cool, you know? Didn't really have the same kind of ambitions as this man financially, it seems, okay? And of course, he doesn't want anything serious or long-term. He also throws this woman out because there's too much drama. And here's the thing, guys. I think if this man was honest with himself, the original poster of this, if this man had enough self-respect, he probably would have came to the same conclusion, which was that the woman was too much drama. You know, again, the dudes with options, they don't put up with crap like this. They just replace the woman. You know, but a lot of husbands, a lot of long-term boyfriends, they think that disrespect and all of these sorts of things are normal, so they don't even notice it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this guy, the other man, he recognizes that the woman is too much drama and he ditches her. But the husband, oftentimes these guys, you know, don't have a lot of options. They haven't been with a bunch of women before, so they don't even realize how much of a pain in the ass the woman actually is. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm laying that out correctly. He says she said she made a mistake and she didn't realize how good she had it until she left him, that she thought she wanted freedom, but actually she needed stability, and that I was the best man she ever knew. You know, that just comes across like an insult at this point, you know? He said, I listened quietly, then I told her something that surprised even me. I may be boring, but boring pays the bills, shows up every day, and doesn't leave when things get routine. You left, not because I changed, but because you didn't know what you had. She cried and I didn't. And check this out. He says, life is peaceful now. That conversation was 2 months ago, and since then I have started dating again, slowly, casually, with zero pressure. He says, I'm not looking to replace anyone. I'm just enjoying my peace. She still texts me sometimes. I never reply. Maybe she'll eventually move on, maybe not. But I know one thing, being boring is not a flaw, it's a foundation, and I'm not going to apologize for being a man who brings peace instead of chaos. I think this is a good way to look at it, by the way. Like, again, guys, a lot of these women are just straight up, I have no other word to describe it, but they're toxic, okay? Like, if you're a dude who's stable and quote-unquote boring, and women reject you because of that, honestly, I would wear that like a badge of honor. Because women can't, oftentimes these modern day women, they can't appreciate a good man anyway. They can't appreciate the fact that a man might be stable or he might care about her long term and things like this. Like, you can come along, you can give these women a great life, and so many of them are just so toxic and twisted that they won't appreciate it anyway. So it's not even an insult, to be honest, when women call you these sorts of things. Like, their opinion is completely irrelevant because they're so messed up a lot of the time. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.